I don't have.
You don't have a name? But I don't know who you are. And I don't think you have any authority if you are not Matthew Lynn Aldridge to appear before this court. And you're wasting valuable time to all of these other citizens who are here today. So when I'm talking, you stop talking. No, you will when I'm finished talking. You are wasting the court's time by doing this, and I'm just simply instructing you that if you are in fact Matthew Lynn Aldridge, then this is your last day to settle your case. The trial date is set for tomorrow, and unfortunately it will not go forward because of the fact that I have a conflict and I have to be in Stewart County on a civil matter. So we're going to assign a new trial date for Matthew Lynn Aldridge. All right. Good morning. We're going to go through the docket as quickly as we can so that we can start on the jail docket. 2021 CR 19158, State versus Matthew Aldridge. Are you Matthew Aldridge? Are you Matthew Aldridge?
All right, guys. You know it's serious when someone sits in court and says they don't have a name. Aldridge takes the sovereign route right off the cliff, claiming the court has no jurisdiction. But the judge, cool as ice, she gives him one last chance to cooperate before setting a firm boundary. When scheduling issues force a delay, you can feel the storm brewing. He's running out of room to play games, and the judge knows it.
Yes, sir.
I don't have.
You don't have a name? Pardon?
I'm the attorney at fact for the respondent mayor.
Well, let me explain to you. Only an attorney at law can stand in court and represent a criminal defendant. And to do so otherwise violates the criminal law statutes of the state of Tennessee and could land someone who attempts to represent themselves as an attorney at law in serious trouble. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're saying an attorney in fact. And what I want you to understand is that if you have a power of attorney, then you need to demonstrate that power of attorney. Do you have a legal document called a power of attorney?
I do not this time.
Okay.
This part gets wild. Aldridge steps into full fantasy mode, calling himself an attorney of fact. But the judge shuts it down fast, reminding him criminal court only recognizes licensed attorneys. No YouTube degrees allowed. His whole act crumbles under the weight of actual law. The judge makes it painfully clear. There's no loophole big enough to slip through. Sovereign buzzwords won't protect you when the court's got receipts.
Report, which is filed in the wrong county because in the wrong court, because this is circuit court. You just be quiet.
You go to the courthouse, it comes up.
You need to listen to me instead of talking, okay? This is a challenge to the standing. The Supreme Court of the United States has stated that no corporation has standing anything to man. And then there's a quotation for Rundle versus Delaware Raritan Canal Company. And then it said, as well as it being a maximum of law, citing certain Latin phrases, dissimilar things ought not to be joined by a definition of Black's Law Dictionary. So the respondent in error requires that the state of Tennessee Incorporated and Cheatham County Chancery Court prove their standing to proceed against a man in any court of law. You have 15 calendar days to prove your standing or forever yield to estoppel.
Get ready for the paperwork parade. Aldridge pulls out his so-called legal filing, stuffed with meaningless Supreme Court references and sovereign jargon. It's the usual play: distract, confuse, and delay. But this judge isn't falling for it. She sees straight through the act, calling out every irrelevant line. This isn't law, it's legal cosplay. And every second he wastes, the court gets one step closer to cutting off his options.
Aldridge, is that your signature?
That's the respondent in error.
All right. Well, I find that Matthew Neal Aldridge has failed to appear in personally in this court for the plea day on his case, which was set for trial tomorrow. And as a result, you have no standing, sir, under what I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation. And I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neal Aldridge. If you are, in fact, Matthew Neal Aldridge, then you need to say so and stop this nonsense, because what you're attempting to do has no legal effect. You cannot challenge the criminal law or the jurisdiction of this court by simply filing some legal mumbo jumbo having to do with civil litigation. That has civil litigation in it. It is not a criminal case that you have cited. So it has no effect on this court regarding the criminal statutes of this court. This court is empowered under the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Tennessee, and by the duly elected citizens of Cheatham County.
Here's where the hammer starts to drop. The judge gives a legal smackdown on Aldridge's nonsense filing, flat out calling it irrelevant. She draws the line between real constitutional law and sovereign make-believe. You can almost hear the air deflate from his defense. It's a masterclass in courtroom control. Aldridge tried flooding the court with fiction, but now the judge's grip on reality is closing in.
Let Aldridge to appear before this court, and you're wasting valuable time to all of these other citizens who are here today. So when I'm talking, you stop talking. No, you will when I'm finished talking. You are wasting the court's time by doing this, and I'm just simply instructing you that if you are in fact Matthew Lynn Aldridge, then this is your last day to settle your case. The trial date is set for tomorrow, and unfortunately it will not go forward because of the fact that I have a conflict and I have to be in Stewart County on a civil matter. So we're going to assign a new trial date for Matthew Lynn Aldridge. Now, is there a possible way that you put a notice up there for you tonight, if they really need you tomorrow, that they need you on February the 6th? Is that possible? General, we're going to need to set a trial date in July.
July 15th.
I'm sorry,
July 15th.
July 15th. All right. To Matthew Aldridge and the individual standing before me, whose name must not be uttered, then we will set a July 15th trial date for Mr. Aldridge. Whatever this document is that you have filed is in fact invalid because it does not cite any valid criminal statute, and therefore I'm denying whatever that might be in the way of a motion. The trial date will be July 15th. The last day for Mr. Aldridge to enter a plea or go to trial will be July the 8th. July the 8th. Now, we're going to give you a card. If you are in fact Matthew Aldridge and you're just playing games with the court regarding this nonsense that you filed, then you may get this card and you may go on about your business. If you are not Matthew Aldridge, then I would suggest to you, you relay to Mr. Aldridge that he must appear on July the 8th, or a bond revocation will take place, and his case will be will take place with him in jail, incarcerated on the 15th.
Aldridge doubles down, still claiming he's not the man named in the case. But the judge isn't here to argue philosophy. She's here to enforce the law. She lays it out: settle this now or face trial. But in a twist of fate, A scheduling conflict pushes things back. It's a temporary escape, not a win. You can sense it. His window to walk away, clean is closing fast, and the courtroom patience is hanging by a The judge draws the final battle lines. July 15th is set for trial, with a last chance to enter a plea by July 8th. And if Aldridge no-shows, jail. No more wiggle room. No more fantasy titles. The court is done entertaining his script. It's now or never. The judge has given him every out, every warning, and now it's accountability time. There's no curtain to hide behind, only consequences. This is the final blow. The judge says if he is Matthew Aldridge, take the court card. If not, then Matthew Aldridge better be told to show up, or his bond gets revoked. It's surgical. No emotion, just lawful precision. The sovereign script has failed, and the court is done playing along. That's it for today's courtroom. Chaos. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.